Buckley.
Minister, this budget for 2019 was a budget not for the ordinary people of the country or for East Cork, but one for the landlords and the wealthy. Issues which plague the Irish people, like the housing and health, receive much talk but very little in the way of actual solutions. In East Cork, we've had huge rises in rent in recent years. The absolute lowest you will pay for an apartment is €900, and the majority are over €1,300 a month. That means that many people are paying close to, if not more than, half their income after tax on rent. Now, some people will use a room that will house up to 5 to 6 strangers, and that will actually cost you a minimum of €400 a month. To touch on the rent pressure zones, and we've done it a couple of times, East Cork is not in a rent pressure zone, and the ridiculous model that the government have set out, dealing with the national average, will never make the national average, so we'll never become a rent pressure zone, so the dog will constantly chase his tail. So instead of freezing rents and giving tax relief to renters and investing in social and affordable housing, as Sinn Féin called for in its alternative budget, the government backed the people, making huge profits off the country's housing misery. The solution, as Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil sees it, is to give tax relief to landlords. Budget 2019 heralded earlier this month as the housing budget, but now it will deliver just 490 more additional homes and do nothing to tackle the highest rents in the history of the state, while 10,000 people remain homeless. Our mental health, again, the government talk a good game, but deliver less than they claim. Not only did Minister Paschal Donoghue mislead the Dáil by claiming pay awards for staff as new funding, one prominent mental health campaigner told me there has been no funding allocated to cover unfunded services in mental health. Unfunded mental health services for people with very complex needs and requiring urgent private placements received no allocation whatsoever. Will these again be covered by delays in spending of development funding? It also seems out of that proportion of the 55 million additional funding announced will go to the referral service and not to the badly needed services. This funding will be handled by the National Ambulance Service and not mental health. The referrals will be to the charity-based organisations and not state-provided services, which are fully regulated. Will the Minister confirm this, and what monies are to be allocated to it? How will he guarantee this is not simply more of the same policy of money going from a mental health into a general health at the expense of new service developments? I just wanted to touch on that as well. This is my third budget that I set in on, and we're finding it extremely difficult. I mean, the only thing that we've got from the Minister on mental health budget was a figure of 84 million. Now, I do thank the Minister's office, Minister Daly's office. We did manage to get one bit piece of information, and that is the 29 million of proportion is actually spent already, so we're back to the magic figure of 55, and it's very, very frustrating when Sinn Féin as a party can get our costings for any section of the budget from the same department as the government, and yet there's no clarity, no transparency, and we're just left with a blank page here again tonight and know what the actual spending is. I suppose finally I'll touch on is tourism received a massive blow. Nothing for Ireland Ancient Seats, it wasn't even mentioned in the Minister's speech. The increase on VAT, not just on hotels but on the hospitality industry, large and small, is detrimental to rural Ireland. This is another budget of spin which serves the wealthy and the powerful and leaves the ordinary people of the country to struggle on. We can do much better, and as Fianna Fáil decide whether or not to prop up this government for another year, they would do very well to consider who they are actually serving. Go to Míle Mágat.